Hey Brad.
Hey, hey.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Let me fix my camera here. It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've used it. There we go. A little bit better.
So how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good.
Is it morning there or?
Yes, it is
Oh,
10:30 in
okay.
the morning. So
Okay.
got
Good morning.
got my coffee here.
Yeah, nice. It's actually night here, so my coffee was
hmm
over like 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 10:30 a.m. here. For some reason, you guys have an extra 30 minutes somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Nice.
Get all my stuff here pulled up. All right.
So we still have a couple of minutes before 8 o'clock. Shall we
Yeah,
wait for a few more minutes so that
it's
the
all
the
good.
users can join?
It's all good. All right. Now,
Yeah.
got my chat opened up on one screen here.
Yeah.
That way we can make sure we have everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So how's the weather?
Hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it?
Um,
Yeah.
let's see. It is going to be 37
Whoa.
today. Here.
That's
Yeah.
super hot.
Yeah.
Wait, you're drinking cold coffee or is it hot coffee?
It's hot coffee.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
You switch to cold coffee in the afternoons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
When
supposed to
it's
be
cold.
yeah, it's supposed to be close to 37 today, and my air
Wow.
conditioner broke in my house, so
Oh,
it's nice and sweaty.
no need to do extra exercises, huh?
No, no, not today. I'm planning a dinner out, so I don't have to cook in the house, and get the air conditioner guy coming tomorrow to try to work on it.
Oh, wow.
Ugh, yeah,
37
uh,
is too much. I mean, damn. Like,
yeah, it
is it like,
happens.
is it normal or is it like once in a time?
It happens about
Oh,
once or twice a summer. Most of the time, it's around 32.
oh,
So it never gets above 32, 33
oh,
C a lot of the times in the summer, but it gets down to, let's see, negative 17 C
whoa.
here sometimes in the winter. So we
Negative 17.
vast, yeah.
Wow.
So zero degrees Celsius, sorry, 0 degree Fahrenheit sometimes, but it's
Wow.
only once or twice a winter, plus snow and all that stuff. So,
Wow. It doesn't snow here, but like even in winter, even in winter and summer, like okay, so the city where I live in, it pretty much stays the same throughout the year. Like it doesn't cross 27 and it doesn't go below 23. So it's like we get sun but not too much, and we
mm,
get winter but not too much. So we're in
yeah, kind
in a
of in the
perfect
middle, right?
balance. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in the morning
yeah.
it was like a sunny, kind of a sunny thing, and now it started raining heavily now. So,
Uh,
but no snow. No matter what we do, we can never expect snow.
yeah. Now we'll get snow probably twice, 2 to 3 times a winter, and it's not much because where we're at doesn't have a lot of snow.
Wow.
But yeah, and it doesn't stay too cold too long. So we try to we try to deal with it the best we can.
So in India, it's like if it snows, it's too cold. There, there's no in between. If it's snowing
Mhm.
somewhere, it's definitely too cold, and we pack with all the sweaters and the jackets.
Yeah, it in wintertime it usually hovers around 0 C,
Whoa.
um, where we're at 0 to 5, in the wintertime, and then it kind of fluctuates up and down. But it's not winter's not that too long, so we have
Whoa.
spring and fall, so it's nice weather there where it's you're not sweating and you're not dealing with too much heat or cold, so it's good.
Yeah. Well, Uh, thank you everyone for joining us. Should we start? Is it okay
Yeah, let's
or
go for it.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining our second episode of Coffee with a SolidWorks Champion podcast. Well, this is a different kind of podcast where you're not. We don't let you be on mute all the time. If you have any questions, you're free to chat with us. It's like an open stage podcast. Our guest
Yeah.
is Brad today, but that doesn't mean you have to be on mute. You can unmute yourself if you have any questions. You can jump into the conversation. It's open. It's an open conversation podcast. Okay, so today we have Brad Meador, if I'm saying it right.
Yes, you are. You got it
Ah,
right.
okay. So we have Brad Meador today with us. Uh, Brad is a design engineer with 16 solid years of SolidWorks experience,
Mhm.
and and currently he's a design engineer at Altec, and he's been with Altec for the past 10 years. Brad is a father, a musician, a motorcycle enthusiast, and what am I missing? Uh, and
The
okay,
student.
yeah, a
I'm
student.
going back
Yeah,
to school. Yeah.
yeah, he's also a student. Currently, he's pursuing his electrical engineering degree from I'm forgetting that, but I remember it's Arizona State University. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and yeah, and you guys must have known him from Iron Swug. We have him here today. Thank you, Brad, for joining us. Uh, it's a real pleasure for having you with us here today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's always good to get out and talk to, I guess, get out virtually and talk to other people and share my passion with design and with SolidWorks software and all that. So yeah.
Thank you. Before we jump into the conversation, let's hear about you from you.
Okay. Well, I'm a almost 17-year SolidWorks designer. I come across the job by accident. I was a mechanic full time when I was in automobile mechanic full time in school, and I decided that I hated the way cars were designed, so I decided to go back to school for engineering or design, and had a company say, "Hey, come interview with us." And the only interview question they had was draw a coffee cup. So they handed me a coffee cup like this, and they said, "Design it and draw it." And that was my interview, and I got the job. And I've
Wow,
been doing it since, and I haven't done anything else since, as far as like that part of the career.
wow, that's amazing. So you were in school when you got the job offer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you off. So when
oh,
you
it's
say
okay.
school, so what is it? Because in India we have a different norms for school. So
So we have primary education, which is up until you're 18 years old. And then once you get past that, then you have college. And I was going to a local community college, which is, do the 2-year programs and the job certifications. I was full time as a mechanic and doing school part time. And that's when they saw my, all the school stuff. The teacher actually, the professor at the school recommended me for the job. And so I started doing that.
wow. That's amazing. Like, in between school, you had a job offer and then you jumped right onto it.
Mhm.
How was that? The feeling when you accepted the job offer.
It was great because it was like I actually got to do what I actually got to apply my education into a design field rather than just working on cars or doing any other careers.
Wow.
So it was good. That was my first like first big job that I got, and I stayed there 5 years. And in that 5 years, they paid for me to finish school, and I worked. I was actually contracted through the U.S. government, so we worked on U.S. aircraft carriers and things that were being built at the time. So I got to see all kinds of different design opportunities. I got to actually install the stuff we were making. I got to actually go to the shipyards where they were building these, and got to experience a lot of firsts with my career. So it was fun.
Oh, that's amazing. Like you got to finish your school with a job and you
Hmm.
had a lot of fun during the experience and you got to build something for your country. Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing. Like not
Yes.
a lot of us get to do that. That's like it's like a dream come true moment, I'd say, for me at least.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great career. A small business that didn't have many employees. Unfortunately, that company shut down. So that's why I came over to Altec and started working here. So uh, that kind of made my segue into this field where we do a lot of industrial design around big trucks.
That's amazing. So, you started your journey as a design engineer during school, and how was like when you were still in school? How was your usual day used to look like as a student as well as a profession?
So I was doing school at night, so I would work full time. Come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, leave at 5 p.m., and then between then and between work and school, I'd stop and get dinner somewhere, and then do school from 6 to 9 at night. Um, and I did that for 4 years, so I could actually keep up my commitments with my employer as well as continue with school stuff. It took it took a little bit longer to do my degree that way, but I got to finish school for free. The company paid for me to go, and that was part of the deal. But it was a blessing that we could do all that, because at the time I was newly married, and when I finished, we were getting ready to have a kid, so it helped all that stuff. So
That's amazing. Okay,
yeah.
so you just told you are a student now. So how is your life different from when you started your career and now? How do you?
Uh, it's very different. I have this full-time job that I do daily, and I also, I have two kids now that are 10 and 12 years old. So they're they got homework expectations, that I help them out. We're working through homework together, and then after they go to bed, then I can go and do school online. So all the classes I do now are fully online, which is great, because that way I can do it at my own pace and my own time, and it's not taking me away from the family obligation. So it makes it a lot easier on me. Hold on a second. Sorry.
No, no problem.
I love the mute button for sneezing. But yeah, it's a little bit different. The time commitment's still there, but I can actually wait until the kids go to bed and my wife's ready for the day, where I can actually do my schoolwork when I have some free time.
That's great. Because you started school after a long time and still that still you're still the same energetic person doing
Hmm.
job, and then before you used to do job in the sorry, school in the morning and then job, and then now it's the same thing with a lot of experience. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yep.
Wow. So
Just a little bit older, and a
well,
lot less hair.
well, that happens to everyone, I guess.
Yes, it
Over
does.
time. So, you told you were a mechanic, right? Like before,
Yes.
starting out. So, when did you started having interest in automobiles and became a mechanic?
So my dad has been a mechanic for his entire working career. From when he graduated high school to now, he still is a mechanic. He runs a shop in town local to me. And so when I was about 8, 9 years old, I would watch him, and I would take things apart and put them back together. And sometimes I'd take them apart, break it, and then he would have to figure out how to fix it and put it back together.
Wow.
Um, so I'd always wanted to do that. So I built my first car. I built a lot of toys and stuff as a hobby, um, and started working with him. He was my boss for a while, and then I got tired of, looking at this thing is terribly designed. Why are we working on things when I could do better? And so that's kind of how it kind of pushed me into going back to college. So I can do better. I can design something better than you know some guy at Pontiac or some guy at Ford. So yeah.
So your design, you had interest in automobile and design since the early age. Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. So,
Yes.
so when did you decide that, like you were a mechanic, and then you realized that, I don't like this design. I can design better than this. And when did you, actually started using, getting to know about design and started using the design softwares? When was the
So,
first time?
so in late part of my high school or primary school, I was, I needed a class that was just kind of taking up some space. I was like, oh, let me try to do this drawing class, and they would hand you, a scale or, a T-square, and I started learning how to draw things. And I was like, God, that's pretty neat. And I was like, it'll be fun, kind of a fun hobby. So I started designing my own stuff to put on my own cars, and just fun, just things I could build around the house. And I was like, yeah, I'll just work as a mechanic and I could do these kind of things. It'd be kind of fun. And then once I started working on cars full time and realizing how bad they were designed or how bad I thought they would be designed, then I started going looking into doing more of the engineering side of things, the design side of things. So it kind of natural progression, I guess. Design your own parts for a car you were playing around with into, well, now I can do better than that for other people. So yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think I've met anyone, who started their design career from a mechanic background. Like, it doesn't happen in India that much, but you're the first person to, meet,
Okay.
and then now I'm inspired. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah. I just recently came across a bunch of old drafting tools, design
Ah,
tools, old pens and I got a T-square sitting over here on my desk. So, I like to show people I've got drafting books from the 1950s that show you, how to draw a drawing, how to letter the drawing, how to, how to use a scale properly, how to, that way, you can design things because we've sent we've people designed way before computers were done, created. So it was like what got me curious was how did they build the first automobiles using just paper drawings?
yeah,
The United States, we sent people to the moon using paper
yeah,
drawings.
yeah. Damn, that is
Hold on,
amazing.
I got something. Are you familiar with a slide rule?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I have a slide rule, trying to like we sent somebody to the moon with a slide rule. You know, that's insane. I never thought somebody
yeah.
could do that.
With
Far
even with
smarter people out there than me.
This reminds me of your post on SolidWorks Champions community about the tools. You
Yes.
had posted a pic about all the drawing tools, and yeah, that was amazing because I don't think I've used. I mean, I've used some of the tools, but not all of those which were on the table.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, and also it's curious of how they just did everything with hand drawn sketches without
Mhm.
3D, just paper drawn sketches and everything. Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
That my hometown is full of a big railroad company, and sometimes you'll run across things at libraries or yard sales where um, people have drawings, hand drawings from the trains, where these trains were made in the 1930s and the 40s, and some of them are full size drawings. They're you know 50 inches across,
Wow. The
and they're just
inches.
paper. Yes.
Wow, that's all hand drawn, and they made it. Wow,
Yes.
that's just shocking to know. There was such a time when people used to do everything from just hand drawn sketches. I mean,
Yes. And that's what the more I got into the design stuff inside of college, the more I was inspired by doing that. So it's been a fun career.
wow, amazing. So, you had a lot of educational background and also experience before education, before
Mhm.
becoming a designer. So, what is your best advice to a fresher or who's still in his beginning journey as a student or a mechanical engineer?
Get your hands dirty. Get out there and work on things. You can think of you designing something in house. You can design something, but not everything can be made. So you can get your hands dirty. Learn how to how the machinists use the tools, ask them, talk back and forth. You know, if you got something that's going to be made out of steel, try to figure out what tools they're going to use, you know, what things they need from you as a designer to put the parts together. If they're doing welding, you know, make sure that they have the right spacing and stuff. So, you know, getting out there into a machine shop or into a welding shop, or you know, talking to the customer who's going to be making it, because ultimately, as a designer, your customer is not the person who's going to get it, but the guy who's making it. So that's, you know, the biggest thing I tell all of our new interns is, you know, you've got to learn how this part's going to be made before you start designing the part. That way, you know, you can work around the processes. That's, you know, it's available.
Process.
That's available to you. Yeah, because I mean, I could design anything, and now with 3D printers and wire EDMs, you can make almost any shape that you want.
Yeah.
But with those weird shapes and those weird production costs, weird production processes, you know, you've got higher costs and slower time to market. So, you know, learning what you have at your disposal is, you know, what tools you're going to use, what machines are available, you know, that kind of thing really does help. So learn how to, at least number one, talk to your machine shop people or your customer. They're the first customer in the line, you know, how they're going to make it, you know, how they're going to weld it, how is it going to be machined, that kind of thing.
That's a great advice. So whoever is here, I hope you made a note of it. I mean, it's recorded also, and later you'll get it on YouTube, but that's a great advice. So coming to your job right now, how does your usual day looks like? Like, what do you do on a daily basis? What is, I mean, it's, if it's confidential, you don't have to share it. If it's
Well,
not,
no, it's just not confidential. But my most of the time, currently I'm working on some new projects that are designing parts for new projects, but I also do a lot of floor support. So we have people that are trying to put something together on the floor and says, hey, part A and part B doesn't fit together. How do we make it work? You know, hey, can we change this hole? Can we change this weldment? We can't get a, the machine can't make it exactly how you want it to, because, you know, it's a press brake. You can't make it perfect, you know, perfect bends. So a lot of that is supporting the guys on the floor, trying to make sure that they can make our product with the tools they have.
wow, that's amazing. Like, so it's basically a collaborated design process. It's not like just design. I mean, this is just from an experience, from an old experience. So it's like a collaborated design process where you and the machinist and everyone get together, like, and then discuss how the process should be, how the design should be, and then you do the design stuff, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. So we come up with an overall, this is kind of what we're trying to do. Can we do it with what we have? Do we need to buy new tools? Do we need to, outsource it to a different manufacturer, that kind of thing. So start from the beginning of a project to the end. We're always talking back and forth with our machinists and our welders, and even the people who are assembling them, putting them together. Can you get a wrench in there? Can you get a screwdriver in there? Can you run the hoses or the wiring through there without it rubbing on things? You know, that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I had like few years ago, I had a bad experience where it wasn't a collaborated. I don't want to mention any names, but it wasn't a collaborated design process. It was basically like you used to get a drawing, you do it, and that's it. Like, even if there are changes, the manufacturer has to make it, not you, because that's manufacturer's. It's on his head now. It's not on your plate. And I try to tell them that it doesn't make any sense, because with accurate design you'll get accurate product. Without accurate design, it's just, you won't get what you wanted. But this is amazing. Collaborative designing is amazing.
Yeah, between the engineer, the designer, and the floor guy, there's always talking back and forth. So if something that I can't figure out, I talk to one of our engineers. If it's something that I can't figure out machining wise, I talk to the machinist. We try to figure out, hey, can we weld it this way? If not, can we change the weld process, or can we change the way that it's machined, or do I need to make a change to the part shape, things like that.
That's amazing. So it's like on a day, on an average, what are the different tools that you use in SolidWorks for your projects?
So I typically we use a lot of sheet metal. We do because we have a laser and we have a plasma cutter, and we cut everything on laser and plasma, and then we run them through a bending process or straight to welds. So I do 90% of my modeling is sheet metal parts. And then for our manufacturing engineers, they use the weldment feature, or they're learning the new structures feature inside of SolidWorks now to build fixtures, build racks, carts, and things to help out as far as making these parts, because a lot of our stuff's really heavy. We're talking 2,000-3,000 pounds when they're fully welded and painted. So it's not light material. So we have overhead cranes, so a lot of fixturing and things like that.
That's cool. So on an average, how long does it take for you to start a project, and then from the start till the end, how long does it take for a project to, what is the time that takes for a project to end?
3 years.
Wow, 3
Mm-hmm.
years.
So we
So,
go through, we'll go and talk to the customer first. What do they
okay,
want? Like the overall end customer, we'll talk to 50 of them, different companies all over the world. Hey, what do you need? Will this work? If not, what are you using now? How can we make it work better? That kind of thing.
wow, that's amazing. 3 years on one project with a lot of interaction with customers and
Yes.
machinists and then floor people. That's just amazing.
Yes.
Okay, now you've been in Altec since 2000, I'd say 2013.
Yes.
Okay,
2013.
and in between you started StarCitySWUG in 2017.
Hmm.
So, you live in Roanoke, Virginia,
Yes.
and what was the idea behind StarCitySWUG? Why is it called StarCitySWUG? Because most of the SWUGs that are there now, for example, Bangalore Urban SWUG, it has the city name first and then
Hmm.
the user group network title. So, what what's the specialty of why is it called StarCitySWUG in Roanoke?
So Roanoke's city nickname is called the Star City of the South. We have a giant. I'm gonna share my screen so I can show it to
Yeah,
you
just a second.
if it's okay.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Uh, yes.
So um, we have a man-made star built up on the mountain,
Oh,
and it during certain seasons. So there's the overlook, um, and
wow,
it actually you actually it overlooks the city.
wow,
So let's see if I can find a better picture of it here. There it is.
wow.
So there's people and there's the star, and so it's up on the mountain, and it overlooks the
Yeah,
city, and so
wow.
we're called the Star City of the South. It's the largest man-made star on the
That is
on Earth.
amazing.
Yep. So we that's what we call ourselves. And yeah, yeah. So I figured, Roanoke SolidWorks user group doesn't have a ring to it, so let's try something different.
That's really fantastic, and also, you know, ideative. New name and new identity. Wow, that's
Hmm.
amazing. And even the star is amazing. Like, I didn't know it was that big because I think, I mean, I don't
Let me
remember
pull up
that.
the stats on it. Let me pull up the stats real
Huh.
quick because I actually have the stat sheet here. It
Oh,
is uh let's see. It is man-made. It was made in 1949 by a bunch of aircraft mechanics. We have an
wow.
airport in town, and they built it all together. It is, let's see, they have it the size of it here on the sheet somewhere. 27 meters tall.
27. Whoa,
Yes,
that is pretty big.
and it weighs 2,700 kilograms.
Oh,
And it,
wow.
yes, so it's fairly large. But on the user group note, I see we have a question in the chat about what
Yeah,
activities do we use to promote
what
user
user group?
groups.
Live from, I guess.
You don't have to give any publicity for is it your location that you're talking about? Um, but as far as mine, I work with our local college, the one that I went to, and they allow us to use a classroom. for free, and I invite the students in and things. But as far as to promote the group, we use the Meetup app, and then I use email, obviously, to promote. But to get people in the seats, the best thing to do is to get them engaged. Our last user group meeting on August 30th, we had a Fab Lab tour of the college.
Yeah.
So I got the college students to actually show us through the Fab Lab, talk about their projects,
Wow.
and get them involved. So it's not just somebody sitting and talking to them the entire time.
That's a great, idea for a user group to have more users interact with the group and also showcase their projects. That's something new. Thank you for the tip, and I hope that helps, Gautaman, because that just gave me an idea also. But yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. As far as the second question, does our company use the 3D Experience platform? We don't currently use it. We have some regulations we have to follow that prevents us from using the 3D Experience platform with contracting and whatnot. And we have our own separate PLM system, so we don't use that. I use it to do the SolidWorks user groups, and I use the 3D Experience platform for, I do some side design for people, at home. If somebody asks me to design something for them, I'll use it for that.
And also the SolidWorks, for all the SolidWorks user group leaders and SolidWorks champions, now that they have the access to 3D Experience platform and a lot of roles, it's an amazing tool. And
yes. Oh yeah, and I can play around with stuff and try it out, and it helps with my company, because I'm like, hey, look, this is what's already here. We're a couple years behind on our software just because of the interactions of a lot of our ancillary programs. Like, hey, look, this is what you can look forward to when we upgrade to this version next year. So I get to test out a bunch of stuff and and be the voice of the future kind of thing. Like, show, hey, this is what's positive, this is what's negative, this is what we need to work around, that kind of thing.
Yeah, 3D Experience is an amazing tool. No doubt about it.
Agreed.
And we are I had been asking Dan about, when is Makers Edition is going to come to India since like last I think since SLUGME 7, and when they announced that all the champions and the user group leaders are going to have this, I was on the clouds, like, wow. But I was not literally over the clouds because our users couldn't have it. But I hope it gets released in India soon, so that all the users can know how cool 3D Experience is.
Yes. Oh yeah, because not everybody can afford a seat of SolidWorks or a seat of the 3D Experience SolidWorks. Yeah, and from what I understand about the whole thing is, depending on what country you're in and how the market and how the banking works is where the regulations are lying. You can't just put a credit card in and you download it. It's got to go through a bunch of banking networks, and I think that's probably what the holdup is. But they're working on it.
Yeah,
because I know your country is a big hotbed for design and engineering right now.
Yeah. Currently, there is this design competition that is going on that's called Akriti, and whoever is participating or whoever opts in for participation, everyone gets access to all the some of the 3D Experience roles that they can try out. It's just amazing. Like, whenever there's a competition, that's the time when the people can access the 3D Experience platform, and many of the users are they're used to 3D Experience that they don't want to switch back to again to the SolidWorks normal version. But yeah, it's one of the opportunities that they can utilize by participating and showcasing their ideas and their products.
Yeah. And I see another thing, and there's another, and Makers is not allowed is not in the Middle East yet either. Yeah, I imagine that's due to some the regulations on how the banking network works and all that stuff. So I imagine that's it's all in process, because I know 3D Experience and SolidWorks and Dassault are putting a big push towards European Middle East, and Asian countries to make sure that they can get all their software all over the world rather than just North America, South America, and the Europe, Western Europe kind of areas. They're seeing that expansion of the industry going in that route too. So
fingers crossed.
Yes. Yes. And, being part of the SolidWorks user group network helps us be a voice for the company. We get to talk to them a little bit and kind of reach out and say, hey, this is what we're seeing. This is what we're hearing from our users. Can you make something happen? And it's actually quite helped a lot. That was big for the makers network. The makers stuff. Now we all have all that all the platform roles that we have, because they're like, hey, look, the maker stuff works, but it only works in these countries. And so to do the workaround, they just gave everybody everything. That's a SolidWorks user group or a champion. So it helps out quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. There's one more question. Do you know any team from Kerala who is participating in the Akriti challenge? Gautaman, no, I do not have any information on who's participating. But what you can do is you can host an event where you, host a meeting, and you can ask your users through the meetup mailing. There's a mailing list in meetup, so you can utilize that to ask your users if they're participating in Akriti. And there is SWUG leaders user group. You can ask there also. I think you know about the WhatsApp group. So I don't have any information on who's participating in the Akriti challenge, but I think that will help you.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, good response. Use Meetup. We use the Meetup group email platform is great. Is a great way to think. After each meeting, I send out a survey. Like, what do you want to see at the next meeting? And making sure everybody feels included. So when meetings come back up, and they're not sitting in there and saying, "Oh, I've already heard this presentation," or I already know about that, or I can do better. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I remember receiving this mail from StarCitySWUG. I enjoy that. It's an amazing way to reach out to the users.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and getting out and at least communicating with everybody, trying to figure out, hey, what do you want to see? Helps me plan, what we're doing for meetings. And as with anything, Dan and the user group network encourages one meeting a year where it's not SolidWorks stuff, it's fun something. Last year I rented out an arcade, which all the arcade games, so that people could just come and hang out and eat food and play arcade games.
Wow, that's amazing. How was it? How was the experience? How were the users feeling, after the event?
Oh, they like that kind of stuff. It kind of takes their mind. We're all busy. We're all being, worked real hard. So it gets your minds off. It gets your mind off of all that stress, and like, hey, come just hang out and have fun. Hang out with people that have the same style of jobs as you do. We all deal with the same stresses. Let's work on a different. Let's do something fun. Kind of spread it out a little bit. So that's what we do.
That's great. So now, Gautaman, I think Gautaman is actually the user group leader of Kerala. It's a state in India, and I think that helps you out, Gautaman. You have some new stuff to try out now. Even I do. That's an inspiration for me as well now. So yeah. So coming to the next topic, during your SolidWorks user group, as a SolidWorks user group leader, you also started another big event, that is Iron SWUG. Can you please tell us a little bit about Iron SWUG, what it is, how the idea was started, what was the reason behind the complete idea and everything?
Yeah, so I posted the link in the chat for people who want to click on it. They want to look at our website. So Iron SWUG is a crazy idea that me and Adam Ebernickel had. He's another user group leader. And in 2020, our SolidWorks World, or 3D Experience World 2020, we were sitting together at the user group leader meeting at the event in Nashville. I was like, what can we do to be different? What can we do to help and bring people to user group meetings? I was like, well, let's like, I ride motorcycles, he rides motorcycles. Let's combine them together. So we decided we were going to do a user group tour. We were going to pick 5 meetups to join and try to do it in 5 days. So in the United States, or in the motorcycle world, there's this thing called the Iron Butt Challenge. It's a 24-hour motorcycle ride. And it's 1,000 miles, which is 1,600 kilometers. and 24 hours. So we decided to combine the two and just make the name Iron SWUG. And we did 6 meetings in 5 days for our first one, where we did we did 2 meetings in one city, and then 4 more other meetings in 4 different other cities to get the 5. So we did Birmingham, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, and Asheville, North Carolina, and we did all those in a week after all the COVID shutdowns. And so we got a big boost on people loved coming out and doing these meetings in person, because at the time we'd all been on Zoom calls all day, every day, because all of us were, they'd send us all home and sit here, work from home. So let's get everybody together again and just hang out and talk and enjoy some food and just, be around other users that have the same passion. So this year we did our second year, where we actually finished off at the SolidWorks headquarters in Waltham, Mass. So we started in North Carolina and went north to Waltham, Mass. We did 2,300 miles, which is, let me do the calculation here. I have a calculator. 3,700 kilometers in 7 days.
Whoa, 3,700 in 7 days.
Yes.
So do you guys sleep or do you ride continuously?
Oh, we sleep. Yeah. So we would do a meeting, go to another city, or stay at a hotel and drive the next day to the next city, or do a meeting and repeat for 5 days.
Wow.
And then come home on the 6th and 7th day. So we drove home from Boston the Saturday after we got done. But yeah, it's a big task. If you click on, let's see, do we have about, yeah, so if you go on the about page of the Iron SWUG, you'll see the map that we actually used last year that shows the track of what we did. And it's there's a lot of driving. Wow. But it was fun. So that's all that matters.
Oh,
that's all our stops, and
that too in 6 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't have anything to say now. I mean, it's I do love travel. I mean, I don't say I'm a bike rider or anything, but I do love traveling to other cities. But in 5 days, 3,700 kilometers, even in any kind of like land transport, I would say no, I need rest. I need to take some days off to take my rest, and then maybe I'll think about it. But in a motorcycle for 6 days, 3,700 kilometers with presentations.
Yes.
I have no words. I mean, I'm still blabbering about what to say. I'm still figuring out what words in my head.
It's okay.
So when you started it for the first time, like did you like, had you done such kind of bike riding before this? You said Iron Bird Challenge is 2,400 miles in 24. I forgot that 1,000 miles in 24 hours, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Like, had you done that before, or what was it?
Yes. I've done that I've done it a few times. It's a challenge to try to do and learn new things, try to do new things, and try to hang out and try to see if you can push yourself.
Wow.
And to do it. So this year we actually had other riders come with us. So we got a chance to have some other riders follow us along for a little bit. And they got to come to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with us, and we got to go to the SolidWorks headquarters and Dassault headquarters in Philly, or the Dassault office in Philly, and then Dassault headquarters in Waltham, Mass. And we got to meet all the normals. We got to see GP, we got to see Manish and Suchit, and got to hang out with them all. So it's a fun thing. You get to go out and do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, truly. I mean, even I saw the pictures that Dan had posted on LinkedIn and in the user group community. It just felt surreal. Like, it was amazing to just look at the pictures, and to be in that event must have been amazing, to meet all such great people like GP, Manish, and Sujit. Like, How was your like compared to 2022? How was 2023 Iron Swag?
It was a lot better, I will tell you that. We didn't rush as much. We spread we brought the groups closer together. The first one we put them really far apart to get all this extra riding in, and it was a challenge, and we were really worn out after that. But I posted a Google Photos
Yeah.
link. You can click on it and see all the photos from that trip. We put them all up on there.
Wow.
And this time we spread them out so that we could make sure we slept good, make sure we weren't driving tired, that kind of thing.
That's amazing. So when you start,
But
like the day you start, you count it as day one, and you have a presentation at some swag, is it?
so what I did was day one. So day one was the Sunday before we started. I drove down to Adam's house, and then Monday, that's day one.
Okay.
First meeting. So we did we did a meeting Monday through Friday. Every day we did a meeting, and then we drove home on Saturday.
Wow. So has the planning for Iron Swag 2024 started already?
Oh yeah, we already know where we're going.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Like you already gave us a clue. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say clue, like a hint that you already decided on places. I mean, now it's curious, like where.
Yeah. So I will show you the map that we currently have. So this is the map of where we've been. So all the red states have, and all the little stars, that's where we've been. Those are all the states we've been in. But I'll tell you, it'll be somewhere in this area next year.
Wow.
So we're going to be somewhere in this area next year. But the only hint I can give you.
Now,
so
wow. So waiting for the Iron Swag 2024 poster and all the map and locations. That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow. So when can we expect for all these maps to be in the red?
In the red, to get all this in the red? Oh, it's going to take a few. It's going to take a few more years. The state of Texas is so big, we can do just user group meetings in Texas. So from the right edge of Texas to the left edge over here is right at 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles. Wow.
Yes. So Texas itself will be its own trip.
Iron Swag.
Yes.
Iron Swag Texas. Don't know when.
Yes,
but...
and yes, that's going to be one. We figured we weren't going to do it this year because 3D Experience World's in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, anybody who was watching the chat or on this will be able to come make it. So
fingers crossed.
Yes, and I see you need to come to Europe in the chat. Yes, we are working on that too.
Yes. Wow.
I'm trying to persuade SolidWorks to how to figure out to ship 2 bikes to Europe.
Well, if you make it to Europe, India is like just right next to it.
Yeah, just right next to it.
Yeah. And there are a lot of SolidWorks user groups in India now, so you can do Iron Swag India.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
I'll also join you guys with my moped.
There you go.
Amazing.
Yes.
So talking about 3D Experience World, you attended 3D Experience World since back in the time when it was still SolidWorks World. So when and where was your first World conference?
I believe the first SolidWorks World that I went to was the first LA one, and I cannot remember when that was. I believe it was in 2016. Yes, I think that was the first LA one. They did it 2 years in a row in LA, and I've been ever since.
Since 2016.
Yes.
Wow, 6-7 years.
Yes, and I've presented at all of them since Dallas, the last Dallas one, 2018.
Wow. 2018,
I think. Yes.
Wow. So since 2018 you've been presenting, and I got to know about this SolidWorks World. I mean, I had an idea about SolidWorks World, but before having an idea about SolidWorks World, I thought it was just another software or addition of SolidWorks. I think it was, I don't remember. I was in second year, and then after that, I got to know about SolidWorks World, and then I realized, okay, it's a conference. Since it happens outside the US, didn't had any opportunity to go, and in 2020, it was all virtual. So how was it? How did you feel about virtual conference from a physical conference? How was the transition?
So 2021, we moved to all virtual, and 2020, yeah. So 2020 and 2021, we were doing all virtual ones. And the first one, it was kind of a quick, we need to get everybody virtual. It was, recording. And, I like being in person more when I do teaching, because I like doing back and forth questions and live work. I love being able to open up the software and say, okay, what are you having problem with? Let's try to work through it and try to figure out how to do it. So the first year they did all virtual, I recorded my class. It was fine to do, but being able to interact with everybody is the fun part. It's why we go to these events. Is meeting the people we only see once a year, hanging out with them, learning from the expert users in the world, and actually being able to do it as a group. Going and doing these conferences as a group is why I like doing it. And so when they did 2021 virtual, I was like, I'm not going to submit a class this time, just because I would prefer to do it in person, and I feel like I do a better job than if I do a recording something over. I'm sitting in a room by myself with a microphone and a camera. I can record 45 minutes, but then I'm like, did I do it right? Let's record it again, and then do it over and over again until I think it's right. So I'm much better in person. I like doing it that way.
That's great to know. So next, Dallas. So, and
Yes.
also in 2021, you had I am lazy. I'm forgetting. I'm lazy. How to make SolidWorks work for you, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yes.
So that received a huge response from users all around the world, even though it was online. And I think more than 1,000 people attended that event.
Yes.
How was your experience on that?
It was great to see, how many people we could actually get into a class at one time. Because when you're at World, they put you in a room, you got 150, 200 people, and then once it's full, they won't let any more people in. So now it's, trying to figure out how to do that. It was great to see other people that can come in and listen and learn online. But again, being able to do it, being able to actually present in person is so much more, it's much more for me. I'm a person that likes meeting other people and talking to them one-on-one, face-to-face kind of thing. So
I wish we could have done this face-to-face.
Yeah. Try to convince Dan to send me over there to meet you guys,
Yeah, actually, so Dan was saying that, maybe for the Akriti contest final, Manish and Sujit may come to India. And I was asking him about, if we could do an event with them since they'll be in India. And we were discussing that. I think during the Thursday meetings, this came up, and he told that, they had offered him to join him with them. And I hope Dan comes to India and you can come here too. That would be great, to have this SWUG team with us in India, because it doesn't happen that much in India. It has never happened before. It would be great to have the SWUG people join us in India. It would be an amazing session.
I mean, I've told them I've got a passport and I have no problem traveling. So just got to convince Dan to send me. That's the thing. You got to get him to pay for the plane ticket.
Yeah. Since this is recorded, I'll make sure Dan, watches this, at least this particular bit of the recording.
So Dan, I'm looking at you.
See, Dan, he's looking at you, and I'm also looking at you. So please come to India and take Brad with you when you come.
There you
go. So you attended so far 7 World.
Yes.
Do you have any favorite amongst them?
So far, I think Dallas is my favorite location. Okay. That's been my favorite location. Nashville is a close second. You know, that's drivable distance for me. So both years in Nashville that we were in person, I just drove down from my house. So it was nice being able to do that. But Dallas, you know, it's an amazing city. Um, it's, you know, the convention center is really nice. All the hotels around it are spectacular. It's the food is always amazing. Um, and so I'm hoping that, you know, 2025 and six and all them will have a location that's as nice. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And okay, this reminded me, like, talking about 3D Experience World reminds me of Cat Monkey Dinner. Like, this is my doubt, personal doubt. I've read that Cat Monkey Dinner is where everyone gets together and have a good time before the 3D Experience World starts. Can you tell us a little bit more about Cat Monkey Dinner and what it is, and what's the is it like a what is the word for it? Is it like a ritual kind of thing before the 3DX happens?
Yes, so it's the unofficial start. So it's just a bunch of users that get together. It's the Saturday before registration opens. So it's
Oh,
everybody who's flown in a day early can come and sit down and hang out. And so last year, or actually this year, Manish found me at the Cat Monkey Dinner and says, "Hey, I need to take a photo with you." Well, this year I had a challenge with Kirby
oh,
that I would shave my beard off after
yeah.
we raised so much money for
Yeah,
Magic Wheelchair. So the number was $5,000.
$5,000. Yeah.
Manish found me in the crowd and says, "Hold on." He did is take a photo, click, and he says, "That's going to go away by the end of this week." And I said, "Okay, I hope so." Well, we had raised $2,500 throughout the week with just users. And then Manish walks out on stage with this big, massive check for $30,000 and then promptly looks over and flocks eyes of me in the crowd. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, great. That's exactly what I need to shave my beard off in front of everyone.
Well, it's
So
for a
it
good
was,
cause.
yes. And so actually, I let Manish shave it off.
Yeah, I saw the bit on LinkedIn actually. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing. I mean, I think when Manish posted that post on LinkedIn, I was like, okay, something is going to happen in 3DX world this time.
Yes.
By the end of the
Yep.
week, yes, it did happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So we,
I'm sorry.
I,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I let him shave it off, and it's a very big difference without me having hair. I'll share my screen again so you can see it. It is scary. My wife said I look like a different person with and without it. So
Nope, I don't think I would have recognized you without your beard even now.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I came back to work and didn't tell anybody that I did it. And walked past 100 people and they just their jaws open. Like, what in the world? Who is this guy? So
Wow. So how was the first year after that?
it was a little windy. You know, that's the first time I'd shaved my beard off in 11 years.
Wow,
My kids
11
had
years.
my kids have never seen my chin
Well, now they
ever.
got a chance.
So
Uh,
they they laughed at me. My wife said it was for a good cause, so she was fine with it. And yes, on the chat, the beard is way bigger than
Yeah.
the current one. Yeah, I'm keeping it trimmed down for a while just to, you know, kind of keep it grow it back a little bit at a time.
You're trying to
So
lay low, huh?
you try to lay low for a little bit. Yeah, I shaved it off and it grew back with more gray hair in it. So I'm kind of scared that if I shave it off again, it'll come back all gray.
Wow. But yeah, that was very amazing what you did. Like that was a good cause, and the amount that was raised was way more than the actual amount that was
Mhm.
initially they had planned. But yeah, that was amazing, and looking forward to see the Magic Whale this year during Slug Me 8. And
Yes,
yeah, that's amazing.
yes. Oh yeah. The magic wheelchair. I showed my wife the magic wheelchair stuff the first time I met them. This was years ago, and you know, my wife works in healthcare. She works with a bunch of elderly people, and so that you know, she gets to during Christmas time, they do very similar things with their nursing home patients, with the elderly. They like decorate their wheelchairs and things for the nursing homes. And she found a way to incorporate it a little bit. And so she was like, this is a cool idea. And so she was I wouldn't say proud that as she had it, that I shaved it. She's like, it was fine.
But yeah, I still remember that video bit in my mind. And wait, someone else volunteered, I guess. I don't remember who, but I remember someone else volunteering to shave their beard. Did they?
Kirby did.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Kirby did.
remember Kirby. Yeah, that's amazing. So you had a fun time in 3D Experience World 2023, and a
Yes.
very big surprise.
Yes, it was a very big surprise. So my kids loved it. You know, being able to do something that, like, that's just a big impact for people. You know, Magic Wheelchair got enough money to build themselves a makerspace so they can build more wheelchairs, because the cost of an average wheelchair is $2,000 American dollars. So you think they built a makerspace and was able to build a few wheelchairs for people. You know, it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Totally.
And
And
hair
also,
will grow back. It will grow back. You know.
yes. And also, thanks to Manish, your kids got to see you without the beard for the first time.
Yes. Yes. And I was up in Waltham 2 weeks ago, and Manish was he walked in, he goes, man, it's growing back. Yes, it's growing back.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's really fast, it wasn't not that long, not even a year ago it was, and now it's almost back. And I've been trying to grow my beard since for 3 months, I guess. I only gotten this much. But yeah, that's amazing what you did. It was a great thing that you did for the community and for the Magic Wheelchair. That was just truly honorable moment for everyone.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. That's what the SolidWorks world is all about: getting together and doing something for a positive cause for people. That's what I love about the community itself. You've got the users, you've got the user groups, and then you've got the community around everybody that kind of spurs that on.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at the end of our podcast. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but last time when Danny was here, we went over a bit, but then I realized, okay, let's just stick to 1 hour, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah,
we can do another one. Like, I can come back on. It's not a big deal.
Yes, and because that's like 1 hour is like the threshold. After that, it's the number of user slides starts going down, and we don't want that to happen. So yeah,
that's all right. We can come back. I can do it again.
Yes, there's a lot more things to discuss about 3DX World, your experiences as designer and everything, and many more things about your presentations. Oh, I forgot to ask one thing. So now the call for presenters is on. So like, what like, you gave us a tip on SWUG. Similarly, can we see any tip for World 24?
So I've actually submitted 3 presentations. We'll see which ones they pick. They typically only pick 1 or 2 of a presenter's things. So we'll see what they decide. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now I just submitted 1, but I feel like, yeah, maybe I should do more.
No, you do. If it's 1 and you're really good at it, that's what they want. They want somebody who knows what the topic is, and that can get people engaged in it and get them hyped up for it. They want somebody who can pull people into a room and is passionate about it. So yeah.
And also, to those who are watching, September 15th is the deadline. So you still have 10 good days. So, I mean, you don't have to submit the presentation right now. You just have to give the presentation title and
like the general overview, right? Yeah.
So you don't have to have your everything presentation ready as of now. You'll have more time. You can start working on your presentations, but submit it before 15th of September.
Yes. Yeah. And when you submit and if you get picked, they give you a free ticket to the event. So the only thing that would cost from you would be the travel, because they provide the food during the day and all that stuff. So highly recommended it.
Yeah.
Especially if you work with a company and you submit, you can, like, hey, look, I've submitted, I'm chosen to present, go ahead and, send me, I've got, this will be a good benefit from number one, for everybody to see what the caliber of people we hire. And it also allows them to, get a little bit of a discount when it comes to sending people, because they only have to pay for the flights and hotels and stuff.
Yeah. Don't miss this opportunity. And
Yes.
coming to the final bits of our podcast, what is the one advice that you would give to a design engineer or a fresher or anyone uh, who's watching this?
So mine would be, try new things. Don't pigeonhole yourself into doing one thing. Try different designing methods. Try different designs. And even if you fail, failure is not, failure is just a way of learning. So try, work constantly. Try to improve yourself.
And that's a great advice. Like in our company, we have the same thing, same saying, but it goes like fail fast, so that
Yes.
you can work on yourself more if you fail fast. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a great piece of advice. And
Yes.
what is the one mistake that you tell a designer to avoid making during his early careers or anywhere they are right now?
One mistake for any careers is don't overcomplicate your designs. Keep it simple. And people will start complicating. Like, they'll start off and they'll try to, I'm going to design something big and massive, and then they get stuck, or it becomes too complicated to do. So start small and work your way up before you try to do complicated things.
That's a great advice. I mean, as in terms of not to make a mistake, because I remember when I started my engineering career, I was like, yeah, I'm going to design a car in the beginning of my engineering career. I mean, engineering student years. And then I realized, okay, designing a car is not that easy and it's more
Mm-hmm.
complicated than I thought. And when I jumped into the SAE competitions, that's when I realized, okay, designing a car is not at all an easy. I mean,
Yep.
many things go behind it, all the math, all the things, designing aspects, how it should be, what it should be, why it should be. That's a huge aspect. So yeah, that's a great piece of advice, not to start with something big or not overcomplicating the designs.
Yep.
uh
Oh yeah.
yeah, so thank you so much, Brad, for being with us today, for being our second guest of our podcast. It was really amazing to get to know you, how your career started, and about your, interests and your experiences in 3D experience world, and your how you started Iron's work. It was all fantastic, and it was, I think it gave a new kind of idea to our users who asked some questions regarding user groups and related to work. It was really insightful, and also, we had a fun time discussing on what you did so far, and how you donated your bid for a good cause.
Yeah.
It was really a great day for me, actually. So it was really great having you with us. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No, thanks for having me. It's always good to get on to talk with other like-minded users worldwide. So I hope to see you in Dallas.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we can
Double crossed.
see who's got the bigger beard.
I might trim it off soon because, in my home, my mom doesn't like me to leave a beard like this, and also I have a long hair. She doesn't want me
I don't have that problem.
to. It all started in lockdown. I started just leaving my hair out, and then I realized, okay, I don't have to worry about it now. And then many people didn't recognize me at first, and now if
Hmm.
I have, feeling that if I trim it off or if I cut my hair, people won't recognize me again. So yeah, I might trim it off soon. But I won't be able to give you a competition in that.
Okay, it's
But
all
I'll try
good.
my best. Yeah.
Yeah, be all right.
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Brad. And yes, Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the presentation. Thank you so much. See you either in next meeting or in next episode. Have a good day. Bye.